Oh, wow. So I just was live for 15 minutes and I was on mute. Of course, I had checked it and then I turned it on mute. So, uh, my gosh. And then I didn't check it again. So here we are. We'll try again. Good news. We can be real quick now. So, this is my art journal. I have I've been working on it for a couple years now and I have a couple of pages. Of course. I'm not super fast, but I do really enjoy every moment I get to spend doing it. So here's my first two pages. I've been art journaling through the 145th Psalm. You can art journal anything that you want. This is just for me what I wanted to art journal. And I love how these pages have been turning out. I've been having so much fun. I'm very into mixed media. I thought these two came out great. This one's kind of a galaxy. The shine is a little bit hard. Here, this was based on a card I did, and you can go back and see. I think I have videos on all of these, and this one did come from an idea from a card, and that turned out really cool as well. I liked this one. It came out really cute. I did have to recolor this whole guy because I painted it down. I covered it with some clear medium, and that completely ruined all the beautiful coloring I did. So I have to recolor him, but it looks great now. This page is one of the only pages I'm not like in love with, but I think it looks okay. Here, this one I like all the individual parts. I don't know about it all together, but it's fine. Then I finished this page right here a little while ago, maybe a year ago. Oh gosh. And I had this one half drawn since then, but I've been a little afraid to finish it. So that's why we are here now. That's what we're going to work on. And let me show you the three cameras. So while I was completely mute for the first 15 minutes, I went through and picked out some colors from the Jane Davenport inks for the underpainting, and that's what you see up here. I went with a purple and a red, and I'm going to mix those together to get kind of a blood red, hopefully. Then I've got some blue, some green, and then some kind of sand colors. We're going to mix together those as well. So really there's going to be 4 underpainting colors. And what we're trying to do with the underpainting is to kind of tone the entire painting. We're trying to get some to block in some color and start working on that vibrancy. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're ready to go. But since we're not looking at pages anymore, we will put this. Now, after we let this dry, I'm going to add some watercolor because hopefully the inks in the inks will kind of stay more when we put the watercolor on top. Once that's dry, we'll do a layer of Copic markers. Once that's dry, we'll do a layer of color pencil. And once that's dry, we're going to do some Jane Davenport layer cakes. So there's a lot to go into this, but we're going to do it one step at a time, and we're just going to have fun. That's the goal here, is just have fun. So let's paint that. Oh, there we go. Now, the one other thing, while we start to let some of that water, and of course my hair is getting everywhere, water kind of soak in, I did draw this with the pigment liner. Now the pigment liner is watercolor and Copic marker safe, so that's why we went ahead and drew everything in there. And you'll see I'm going with kind of a half and half design where they almost blend into each other. At least that's the goal. We will see. Now, let's switch over here And can focus on this. Oh, I'm getting nervous. Okay, let's go in with some blue. We'll block in some blue. That can't be that hard, right? Right? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I was loving this blue and I'm still loving it. It's looking great. Now, I'm not too worried about everything being perfect on this. We are just having fun. We are just having fun. That's what we're going to tell ourselves at least. Okay, here we go. Now, I think the line is right here, but we're going to go ahead and kind of go in to that other side. Ooh, this is interesting. Interesting. It's interesting how the ink works on this paper because you kind of, oh, see, I kind of want some of that texture. We really need to put the water down first and then start putting it in. Okay? Actually, we're going to paint his hair blue as well because it's going to be white in the end. And so the blue undertone will actually be a good thing. There we go. And we'll kind of leave that there. Okay. Let's add a little bit more blue over here. Oh, I'm liking that. I think I'm liking it. it's looking good. Add a little bit more water, kind of blend it out. Now, you will see kind of some of these dots forming. Part of the problem there is a lot of this back page is covered in acrylic. So that's going to affect how things work on this side. But that's okay. That's part of the beauty of working in an art journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not at all going for perfection. So let's go ahead and add a little bit blue here. And you know what? I think some blue here as well. There we go. To pull the blue up from there, and then we may want some blue down here. Now this might seem counterintuitive. Why put blue on the ground? But we're going to make this down here kind of grassy. And I think the blue will give it a different tone than up here where we're going to add the green. So I guess we could have done it reverse, but we have made our decision now, so we're going to stick with it. Here we go. And then let's add some water over here. And kind of getting this wet is really going to help us in getting that green moving again. So I think that's what we learned from the blue. You got to get the water down first and then bring in the color. We'll start over here and just a few drops, literally 2 to 3 drops of each of these ink colors is all I got on my palette to start with. And they go so far. I would always recommend start with just a little bit. You can always add more. Okay, put some of that. Ooh. Oh, that looks great. Oh my gosh, I'm loving that. Okay. Already a big fan of this. Okay. And we'll kind of blend in the green over here as well. Oh, that looks really fabulous. And then we want some matching green over here. But over here, we're kind of more deserty. And so I'm going to go ahead and go with the green in his jacket. I think that'll match because you really do want to have a set color palette. That really will help a lot is if you set your color palette and don't have every color under the sun. If you kind of have more of a couple set colors, you can always add a little bit more, but a couple of colors really helps you focus in, helps your eye kind of calm down and just focus on what you really want them to see. So that's kind of where we're starting. And if we had a little bit more green, I'm going to go ahead and just start to kind of block that in right there. Okay, next up, I think already I realize we're missing a brown. We'll need to add a brown, but we'll keep going with what we have right now. But yeah, we'll go brown, 1, 2, 3. Let's go with these two colors. Okay. And this is going to be a bigger swath. We're going bigger here. It's going to be a big swath of these paintings. It's going to be here, and then it's going to be over here and down here. So we're going to get that nice and wet, and we can add the color in, hopefully, once it's wet. And at the very beginning, I did put a big swath of kind of water down, just initially to get the paper and the fibers started. That's why I went in and went ahead and did that, because now when we're coming back, those fibers should already be started. And if you really want to do this right, you'll kind of warm your water before you're doing it. I have regular tap water. What can you do? Okay, we've got a nice base here. Now we're going to grab some of our colors and let's grab one at a time. For just a second, let's see kind of what they're looking like. Okay, that's okay, but it's a little green. Let's grab some of this. Oh yeah, that's the color. Okay, just gonna kind of take over because that's the color I'm looking for. And you may be like, Lisa, you're going outside the lines. You're getting it places where it shouldn't be. That's okay. I'm not that worried about it. What I am worried about is that I ran out of ink, and I think this one's this jackalope. So I'll show you what I did earlier on my silent live. Oh, I can't even believe it. And we'll just pick up a few more drops. There we go. Just as simple as grabbing it with the pipette and getting just a few drops. I grabbed a few extra drops on that one than I did on the others. Like I said, 2 drops, I think, on all of them. But this one is going over quite a bit of area. So we will just add some more in and get that down. You can also start blocking in some of the shadows and building up color. We're going to start with just getting the color on the page, making sure I'm liking kind of the color placement. That's important. And we will turn this over and check and make sure I didn't completely ruin the other page. I was pretty sure it wouldn't get too bad because I do have a lot of plasticky, like acrylic type paint on this side, and I think it'll be fine. So we are good there. And I have already used up that ink. So we'll get a little bit more. And maybe I'll put it in frame so you can see. I'm going to grab that pipette. We're going to get just a couple drops, put that in. Then I'll put that in my water and clean it out. So if I need to get any more of another color, we're good to go. Grab a bit more water, kind of get this section going. And there we go. And grab some of that to add back in. We'll put a little extra over here. Can blend it in. There we go. Build up a few places. Some extra color. Oh, I'm liking that. Okay. And maybe there. Just starting to block in areas where we're probably going to want more color. Let's think about where our shadow is falling, where our light is coming from. We kind of want it the same on both sides. I'm feeling from this top corner. So let's go ahead and start building some darkness into those shadow areas. There we go. Oh, even just that little bit gives some dimension, and I'm really loving that. Just the underpainting really helps. I'm telling you now. You don't think it's going to, but it does. It just kind of gives you a guide as you're working through the next steps. That's what we're going for here today. Pull in right there. Go a little bit more under there. There we go. And then maybe a tiny bit more here. And get some blocks of color there. And we'll just have this sand kind of go in. And we're going to lean into the dots. We're going to accept it and build it in to our overall painting, because that's trying to fight something like that. The only way I could win is if I went ahead and just did all acrylic, and that's not what I feel like. So we're going to embrace those dots and say they are beautiful and working towards our end goal. Okay, so there we go. I'm liking it. Maybe let's come in with a little bit of this blue and just kind of add some texture in here. I think we've already got some good texture over on the sky, but adding some texture into this grass, just start off with, is going to be a good thing, I think. And we'll use up the rest of that paint. Always love that. Okay, there we go. Now we don't have any more of the green, so I can't block in any more of his tunic. Is that important? I don't know that at this juncture it's critical, so let's just keep moving forward. Now we have some of this blood red color that we're going for. So I definitely want some right here. Then maybe some in his face. And then the brown will be in those 3 other places. Okay, because he's supposed to be angry. So I think red face will kind of help with that. We just won't go too wild and crazy. Okay, grab some of this. Grab a little bit of that. Then let's water it down. Okay. Then we'll start to pull this in. There we go. So he'll be red because he's kind of bloody. And the other guy will be red because he's kind of angry. And all of this kind of flow that way. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and get all of him. We can add some of the detail like we did on the yellow. We'll add some darker tones once we get there. And, ooh, okay. There we go. Ooh, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Okay. Then let's very gently color him in, his face and then his skin. With a little bit of this. I might go in with extra red in his cheeks. And actually a purple undertone base for skin tone is very reasonable. Very good color to start with. But I think I might have gone a little dark, so, oh, actually it's already lighting up, so we'll be good there. We'll just add a little red to the cheek, which may have been too much, but you can just go burp, burp, get it better. Maybe went a little aggressive there, but that's okay. It's the underpainting. I think it'll be fine. But I do like having some red in there. So let's go with some darker tones and some red. Let's go ahead, block that in. And block in some red here. Because I think that would be red as well. And we'll put some brown over this tree. But we do want a little bit of red there also. Okay. Oh, that's looking amazing. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's do just a little bit more, maybe more with this and add a few more areas of darker color, just where we want shadows to be. Start blocking those in now. Oh, let's grab just a tiny bit of purple that hasn't been watered down to really build that in. Build in some of those dark areas. Okay. Ooh, there we go. Now all we need is some purple. So let's switch over, or some brown, I'm sorry. We need a little bit darker brown. something along the lines of this jackalope, but maybe deeper. Oh, this centaur actually looks like it might work really well. It's pretty close in tone, but a little bit more red. It's kind of a red brown. Okay, I'm feeling this. I've talked myself into it. And you can see we still have some colors left, so I'll probably grab out a little piece of paper later and use those up because I just don't like wasting stuff. So I think this is a 1 to 2 drop as well. If we need an extra drop, we can grab an extra drop. That's like 1. That's 2. We'll call that good for now. But we will, for sure, without a doubt, close the top so that I don't push it over the edge and mess everything up, which I have been known to do. So let's jump back over here and start putting this brown down. There's a couple areas we kind of want to blend in over here. I'm going to put the brown, oops, there. Kind of put the branch in. Let's just grab a little bit and start plopping it down in those areas. Oh, yeah, there we go. What a beautiful brown. Oh, I think brown is such an underrated color. It can just be beautiful. It can be not as beautiful as well, but I am loving the color of this. It's just such a perfect tree color. There we go. And drop some in over here. And we'll drop some in over here. Maybe add a tree branch or two up in the green. Okay. Let's drop just a little bit more so we can get some color variations going on. And then when it dries just a little bit, we'll come back and put some dark and light areas. Yeah, even that is looking great. Okay. We are moving on. Oh my gosh. I know for anyone who hasn't done anything like this before, you may be thinking I am crazy and this underpainting looks like trash. But, just trust me. Just trust me on this process. It's going to look great. I'm actually really ecstatic with how well this is coming out. Now, I may never be Da Vinci or Michelangelo or an amazing artist, but I'm okay. I'm okay. And just trust me when I say, if you haven't ever done anything like this, oh, just try it sometime because it is so fun. Just adding the underpainting will really add a lot to any painting that you do. And it helps you go from nothing to something. And it's just magical. Okay. There, we'll let that dry a little bit and we can add in a little bit more tones. Now we're going to go with the staff. Kind of a 3-prong approach here. Most other things are matched twice, but this one's matched 3 times across the painting. So that's interesting. That may be something we need to think about as we continue on, how to kind of create threes. Because that is an important rule. Threes are more interesting than twos or fours. How odd. Math humor. Okay. Oh, That is looking so good. Oh my gosh. I am just ecstatic. Okay, what I'm gonna do, and well, let's double check this side again. Look, it's looking fine. You can't really see because I have that. Let's switch that off. But yeah, you can see not really coming through. So we're doing great there. What are the next steps? I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna Once the brown's a little bit more dry, I'll go in, add a few darker spots, add some shading. I may come in with the green and add a bit of shading there, and maybe come back over this area with a little bit of the green as well. You know what? Mm, no, I think I'll leave this as is. I may come in with just a drop of green though and add some shading there. So shading the brown, shading the green, letting it fully dry. And then the next step will be the Tim Holtz and Brusho second layer, which is watercolor second layer. If you're interested in seeing that, go ahead and put a like or a comment below, and I'll do another live. If you guys aren't interested at all, I'll just do it on my own and keep working because I am loving this. I have put this off for a year because I was so nervous about it. And I said, you know what? Just do it. Just go for it. How bad can it be? And I'm loving how it's turning out. I'm having so much fun. Um, there's a lot more to go on this. I'd love to share with y'all. But anyway, I hope you guys have a super crafty day. And I hope you guys are just doing great. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.